Imagine for a moment that the universe is not just an immense, indifferent expanse of space filled with stars, planets, and cosmic dust. What if, instead, the universe is intimately tied to your very existence, to the point where it relies on you, your thoughts, your perceptions, your consciousness, to manifest reality as you know it? This might sound like a wild idea, but it's one that challenges the deeply ingrained Newtonian worldview that has dominated science for centuries. Traditionally, the universe has been seen as a massive, well-oiled machine. In this Newtonian model, everything operates according to strict laws like gravity and thermodynamics, with each part of the universe existing independently of the observer. We're taught that the universe is an objective reality, one that would continue to exist just the same whether or not we were here to observe it. But with the advent of quantum physics, this seemingly solid worldview starts to wobble. Quantum physics introduces a level of weirdness and uncertainty that doesn't fit neatly into the old mechanical model of the universe. At its core, quantum theory suggests that particles can exist in multiple states at once, known as superposition, and that these particles only choose a state when observed. This idea that observation can affect the physical state of matter is not just bizarre, it's revolutionary. It hints that reality itself may not be fixed, but instead could be fluid and dependent on the observer's consciousness. This modern scientific insight has surprising parallels with ancient spiritual teachings. Hermes Trismegistus, a mystical figure from antiquity, famously taught, "As above, so below, as below, so above." This ancient axiom suggests a reflective relationship between the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, the individual. Essentially, the state of the universe mirrors the state of our consciousness. In other words, our inner world is not separate from the outer world. The two are intricately connected, much like how a mirror reflects the image in front of it. But how does this work in practice? Let's take a closer look at the role of consciousness in shaping reality. Quantum theory, with its concepts of superposition and entanglement, suggests that the universe is not a static, predetermined entity, but a dynamic, interconnected web of possibilities. The observer, the conscious being, plays a crucial role in determining which of these possibilities materializes into reality. In this sense, the universe could be seen as a vast quantum field of potential, waiting for consciousness to give it form. Neville Goddard, a 20th century spiritual teacher, took this idea a step further. He proposed that the fourth dimension, which is beyond our three-dimensional experience of space and time, is the realm where all possible outcomes of our lives exist simultaneously. According to Goddard, by aligning our consciousness with a particular desired outcome, we can select that outcome from the quantum field and bring it into our three-dimensional reality. This concept resonates with the idea in quantum physics that the act of observation collapses a particle's wave function, choosing one reality from a range of possibilities. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a modern neuroscientist and author, further explores the connection between thoughts, consciousness, and the quantum field. He argues that our thoughts and emotions are not just passive experiences, but are powerful forces that can shape our physical reality. In his view, the quantum field is an infinite reservoir of potential outcomes, and by focusing our thoughts and emotions, we can influence which of these outcomes become our reality. This idea challenges the conventional view of the mind as merely a byproduct of the brain and suggests that consciousness itself is a fundamental force in the universe. Now, this brings us to a controversial notion. If our reality is shaped by our consciousness, then the universe might not be as objective or autonomous as we've been led to believe. Instead, it could be more like a mirror, reflecting back to us whatever we project into it. This means that our inner world, our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and intentions, could directly influence the outer world we experience. If you've ever wondered why certain patterns keep repeating in your life, this perspective offers a potential explanation. The universe is reflecting your inner state, much like how a mirror reflects your physical appearance. Let's break this down with a practical example. Imagine you wake up every day feeling stressed and anxious about your job. According to this quantum perspective, that stress and anxiety could be influencing your experience at work, making it more likely that you'll encounter stressful and challenging situations. The universe, like a mirror, is reflecting your inner state of anxiety back to you in the form of external circumstances. On the flip side, If you cultivate a sense of calm and confidence, you might start noticing that your work environment becomes less stressful and more manageable. The mirror of the universe reflects back the calm and confidence you've projected into it. However, this isn't just about positive thinking or trying to wish away your problems. The idea here is more profound and nuanced. It suggests that reality itself is not fixed or predetermined, but is instead malleable, shaped by the interaction between consciousness and the quantum field. This interaction creates a feedback loop. Your inner state influences your outer reality, and your outer reality, in turn, influences your inner state. Understanding this loop and learning to navigate it could be the key to creating a life that aligns more closely with your desires and intentions. But here's where things get really interesting and a bit unsettling. If the universe is merely reflecting back what we project into it, this implies a significant level of personal responsibility. It suggests that we are not just passive participants in the game of life, but active creators of our own reality. This idea can be empowering, but it can also be daunting. It challenges the common tendency to blame external circumstances, other people, or even fate for the difficulties we face. Instead, it invites us to look inward and consider how our own thoughts and beliefs might be contributing to the situations we find ourselves in. This doesn't mean that everything in life is within our control, far from it. Life is complex, and many factors are beyond our influence. However, it does suggest that by changing our inner world, we might be able to shift our outer experiences in a more positive direction. This concept is not just about thinking happy thoughts. It's about fundamentally altering the way we perceive and interact with reality. It's about recognizing that our consciousness is not just a passive observer, but an active participant in the creation of our experience. This perspective also raises important questions about the nature of suffering and adversity. If the universe is reflecting our inner state, does this mean that all suffering is self-inflicted? Not necessarily. Suffering is a complex phenomenon, and it's influenced by a multitude of factors, including social, economic, and environmental conditions. However, this viewpoint does suggest that our inner state can exacerbate or alleviate the suffering we experience. If we approach life with a mindset of fear, anger, or resentment, the universe may mirror those feelings back to us, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of suffering. Conversely, cultivating a mindset of peace, acceptance, and resilience could help break that cycle. So, where does this leave us? If we accept the idea that our consciousness shapes our reality, it opens up new possibilities for personal growth and transformation. It encourages us to take responsibility for our inner state and to recognize the power we have to influence our outer world. This doesn't mean that we should ignore the challenges and injustices in the world, far from it. But it does suggest that by changing the way we think and feel about these challenges, we might be able to change the way they manifest in our lives. In conclusion, the intersection of quantum physics and ancient spiritual teachings offers a radical rethinking of the relationship between mind and matter. It suggests that the universe might not be a cold, mechanical entity, but rather a dynamic, responsive field that reflects our consciousness back to us. This idea challenges the traditional view of reality and invites us to explore the profound impact our inner world has on our outer experience. Whether or not you fully embrace this perspective, it's a concept that encourages deeper reflection on the power of the mind and its role in shaping the reality we live in.